Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. Every day. It's a gift. Anytime that I get to speak to you guys, I get to have breath in my lungs is a gift. I cannot say that. I cannot stress that more each and every day. Right. So, reason that is because I've had several near-death experiences, one of which I actually died. So I'm wired to know and to understand that every day is a gift, right? And you need to treat it as such. And it's not guaranteed to you. So you need to max out whatever your purpose is, and also with the understanding that today is a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. Okay. So, what do I got for you guys today? So, this weekend on Sunday, we played. I was coaching up my kids' flag football team, and we played a team called the Commanders. And I'll tell you a little bit about the Commanders. But anyways, they were the Jaguars last year. The two coaches that were on that team, I was not happy with what I saw from them from a coaching standpoint, because I coach my kids during training and stuff like that. I want my kids to get better as the season goes on, and I did not see that from them. I just remember the first week of flag football. After the first week, I came up to the coaches and I was kind of like, hey, um, here's some adjustments that I see and you need to probably take or whatever, right? And it was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. And then just like nothing, no adjustment was ever made. No adjustment was really ever made until like the last game of the season. And what that resulted in is a 2-4 record. Kids were bunched up like sardines. They didn't even know how to play better than they began. My frustration levels went high. My frustration levels went very high, and I was getting so frustrated in the stands as a dad that I decided the next season I'm not having that. I got to coach. Right. So my background is I coached 4 or 5 seasons in high school. I also coached 2 seasons in college. So coaching my kids' flag football team is nothing. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. Right. So it brought me back into coaching. So this weekend we got to face that team that my son used to play for. And guess what happened? The dads that were supposed to be there, just their families just went to Vegas. They went to Vegas and they took their families, and the team only had 3 kids to play the game. So they had to borrow 2 kids from our team to play with them. So we had enough to play the 5-on-5. Right? And I was just thinking back to last season. I was like, if I was a parent and that happened with the coaches, I'd be pissed. But I already saw it, so I wasn't going to see it twice, right? So I have a life principle, and the life principle goes: don't make the same mistake twice, right? Learn from your mistakes the first time. So the first time I saw it, I learned from the mistake. I said, you know what? I want my kids to get better through the season instead of dealing with coaches that don't know their football, and the kids just stay average, right? So that was kind of what happened. So what happened was, so we had to give them two kids, right? So we gave them 2 kids that don't typically play that much, and then we switched. We gave them one of our best, which is one of my son, right? Because it's hard to run. It's hard to run plays versus him because he's so fast, and he gets to the spot so quickly that it makes it extremely hard on you to run any plays. He squashes plays before they really get started. So that was that. And so we felt bad for the team, so we didn't do the things to the team that I originally wanted to do if they were there, because now I'm coaching, a little bit on my back foot. I feel bad for the other team, and I'm a little disorganized. I'm down a coach. We still beat them 26-0, but it just goes to show you that sometimes you just need to just do it yourself, right? Do it yourself. And this season, they've learned high-level football. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. What do I like to do on my free time? So on my free time, I like to read. I'm a book nerd. Through COVID, I realized that every time I read a book, I grew. And so during that time, I decided to be a lifelong learner. And that was probably the best thing I've ever done, because every book that I add, or I read, I really gain their level of experience. And that's invaluable in making decisions clearly in the future. So that's one of the things that I typically do. And most of the time I just kick it with my family. Right? How's everybody doing? Where's everybody from? Yeah, books are amazing. And the thing about it is, people stop growing or stop longing for change, right? Where we were never built like that. We were built. God built us to be and perform in our highest and best self, right? But we could be lazy and lackadaisical and not understand that, hey, I should be reaching for my best version of myself, right? That's what the gospel is about, right? So you want to be reaching for your highest and best self. And for me, I do that with books, and then I spend my time, which is my biggest asset and most important asset, with my family. That's just kind of how I do it. So how's Australia doing? Good. So back to what I was talking about with the kids and football and stuff like that. So we ended up beating the team 26-0. We didn't beat them the way we wanted to, but we still did some of the things that we wanted to. So next week we have what's a team called the Vikings, which is currently undefeated. They have the best record. They throw the ball, which is not something that we see in 6U developmental football. So they execute very well. So we're going to line it up. We're going to defend the pass, and we're going to make them beat us on their feet. It's very simple. Make them beat us on their feet. So that's kind of where, I'm at this week, and trying to figure out what's the best game plan. The funny thing about my kids, I draw up the plays on the board, right? And so they get an understanding of what daddy is looking to do, or how I'm trying to defend certain things, right? And so the kids kind of understand the concept. So I got a little frustrated with them yesterday because, obviously I went to go watch them play. So I'm talking about some of the things that we're going to do and stuff like that. And the kids are like, I think we're going to lose. And I spazzed out. Full out spaz. Daddy's no loser. Right? Daddy been fighting a long time, his whole life. You're going to show up and you're going to play your best football, period. I don't want to hear this crap. All right? This is what people do when they meet challenging times or challenging situation, and before it even happens to them, the level of fear cripples them, and they become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, I think we're going to lose. Well, you're so scared, you're so nervous that guess what? Can you perform? Absolutely not. You just decide that it's just going to happen. So guess what happens? Exactly what you said it was going to happen. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Right? And I've been there. I'm just many years ahead where certain things don't bother me as much. It don't look like playing real football. It doesn't look like having to fight the way I had to fight. It doesn't look like a real challenge, but to them, they're kind of like, oh man, this is going to be a big one. Just do your job. Do your job, stay on schedule, and guess what? They can't beat us. Only we could beat ourselves. That goes for you out there too. No one can beat you, but you can beat yourself. That's it. No one could beat you, but you can beat yourself. I promise. You can. Yeah. So, I'm going to be on this journey with them this season. All right. So, we got one more guaranteed game. And if we're able to beat the Vikings, then we'll likely go to the Super Bowl, right? So I don't know if they would pair it with us versus the Vikings again. Right now, we're currently ranked third. We tied with the second-ranked team, which we kind of dominated them throughout the game, and they had a last 22-second, play where they scored. And it was for us, it was a good game. We played a solid game, but we didn't finish the game the way we needed to, so we ended up in a tie, right? But now they get to control their destiny. Our kids get to control their destiny and beat the Vikings. Like, not just beat them, take it to them, right? We know what they like to do. We need to eliminate what they do well and bring it down to our game, right? That's what we need to do. Same thing with you. Things are getting ready to change for everybody with AI. I promise. AI is changing the landscape at the workplace. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to adjust to secure your future? Because I can tell you what right now, your boss, the manager, ownership, I can tell you what right now, they don't care. They are looking to automate and looking to eliminate you so they can get you off their books. All right, that's just the reality. They want to get you off their books. This in football, we train to kill a ninja, right? In UFC, they train to kill one person at a time, right? And any given play, you could hit 5, 6, 11 people, and I promise to you, as it may sound, just like Floyd Mayweather is the best, right? Floyd Mayweather was smaller than McGregor, right? But he destroyed him. It's a different league. It's a different league. So, where am I at? So, Driving Chronicles. I pick a topic and I talk about whatever's on my thoughts, whatever's on my mind on that particular day. So, coming off of a Sunday, I did my full meal prep, right, where I cook for the family for a couple days, and then I get them situated for the week, and then now I go to work and I bang out work, So, like I said, be grateful for each day Be grateful for each breath that you have in your lungs. It's a true grit. It's a true gift. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe. And I think this next chapter, it's important for you to put your cap on, because if you're working for somebody and AI has the ability to change your life, you need to figure out what your next steps are going to be. No more comfort. Comfort is out of the window, completely out the door. Comfort will find you homeless. I'm just letting you know right now. Comfort will find you homeless in this next AI chapter, with all of these companies shifting and reducing their labor force. Right? All these automations are being done, and triggers are happening, and so outside of that, thank you for joining. Hit like and subscribe. Have a great day.